Hello, my name is Ryan Benn, and I am the CEO and group publisher of a live publishing group. And I spend a lot of time giving to others and working to make the world a better place. So I first got involved in the natural health and wellness industry 19 years ago today, which is really something. It was a really fortuitous opportunity. I had a phone call from a friend of a friend who I never met in my entire life on a Friday night at 9:30 at night. And this is back when phone calls meant picking up a phone with a cable and at a home phone number. And an individual said that he owned a company, a publishing company in the natural health space, and he was looking for a new, young, energetic leader for that company, and he'd heard my name. I was 25 years old at that time, 26 when I ended up taking over the company, and I kind of just fell into place, and I fell into love with the industry is really how it played out. I've been so amazingly lucky to have great influences from this journey. When I first took over Live Publishing, one of the things I did was went on the road and met all of our key partners and stakeholders. And through that journey, I met a lot of really incredible people who still to this day, I'm very, very close with, in some cases, as far as sitting on the boards of their companies, in many cases, being at weddings or celebrations of life, etc. But Stuart Brown, owner and founder of Genuine Health, was one of the very first meetings I have and is one of my dearest friends. Of course, Siegfried Gersh, the founder of Alive, one of the forefathers of this industry. Roland Gaylor, the founder and owner of Natural Factors. And amazingly, Franco and Tanya Salatero, who came a little bit later in that journey, but only about a year, 20 years for you guys, but maybe about 18 and a half for me. And we became dear friends, and we've just worked together to make the industry bigger and badder as we've moved forward with our business journeys. I've been in this business for a long time, in this industry for a long time as well. So thinking of some of my most memorable experiences in this industry, well, I have to be honest, one of the challenges of this industry has always been the delinkage between regulatory and our industry. An industry that really, at the end of the day, is all natural, trying to do good for people. 90% of consumers, by and large, in the 20 years that I've been a part of the industry, choose natural to treat themselves and their families. And then the delinkage with the government. So it feels like it's a constant cycle of trying to ensure access to these safe and amazing products while working alongside government to understand that they don't fall into the same paradigms that would be appropriate for things like pharmaceuticals. So it is a figurative part of what it is. Of course, more recently, with the COVID and the pandemic, it was really interesting to see the role that natural health products and the safety and security that brought a lot of people as they're able to naturally boost their immunity and take care of their families in a way when there was a lot of fear in the world and we're all really scared and concerned. And it was really neat to see our industry, my company, rally together to provide that sense of security and support for consumers. But if I step back from some of those pivotal moments, I think it's actually just seeing the sheer growth of the industry going from that very, very small founder-led manufacturers and brands and founder-led retailers and really this tight network of individuals to broad acceptance North America-wide, Canadian companies having success in the United States. I believe the best piece of advice I've been ever given is, first off, don't take advice from others. So one of the things that I most cherish in the world is having an incredible network and resource of friends who share experiences. So I really love to look at things as how do I learn through other people's experiences as much as advice, which is really kind of telling. And every person is a little bit different in the world, so I'm always a little reticent to also give advice. But that said, some of the experiences I most learned from is leading with authenticity, so really being who I am. So it took a long time as a young leader. I always believed there was a persona that I needed to play. And more as I've traveled through life, I've dropped a persona and just actually been my authentic self. And I believe when you lead with that level of authenticity, others love to be a part of that journey. So I love being high energy. I love being positive in life. I'm definitely a glass half full kind of person. And I think those are all experiences that I would love to share with others, to say no matter what you do, no matter what your job is, just be yourself, be happy, and choose happiness and joy. And I think others will love to be around you. What I love most about the industry we work in, natural health and wellness, is the fact that everybody who works in this industry actually gets to wake up and do good every single day. I think it's one of the most amazing things, and sometimes we forget it at Alive as well. And I do try to remember as often as maybe once a year when we sit together and we get together and we celebrate the holidays. But I do stay when I stand up with the families around how fantastic it is at the end of the day that we get to come in and we all have jobs. So whether it's a graphic designer or an editor or an accounts receivable clerk or a salesperson, we all actually are making everybody's lives better who we interact with. And I think it's just a really powerful thing, and it's really reassuring to be able to live a journey like that. Well, Alive has been around for decades, 50 years to be exact, and 5 decades coming up next year. So we will also be celebrating a milestone anniversary. I started it when I was 30 years old, so I look really good for my age now. Having taken over Alive 19 years ago after Siegfried Gersh, the founder, I think we still stand true to the same pillars of what it was at that time. It was really about industry connectivity. So it was our ability to connect a manufacturer and a brand with a retailer, with a consumer. And there needs to be education in this space. And by educating, what we actually see is that we're able to increase adoption of products. People are able to introduce new products. Retailers can be successful. Consumers are able to make educated choices. So, our mission, I believe, is to expand that. So we've done that through our Live Academy, through increased frequency of our magazines, and then through expansion both geographically and across different channels in the retail base. I really love to see this industry grow. I believe passionately that this is the right choice for all of Canadians, and that every Canadian deserves to be educated enough to make these healthy choices. So we're going to keep driving to make that happen. So a few years back, we actually developed a new tagline for our business. It's kind of our vision statement, if you will, and it was educate, inspire, and engage. So it really tells the story of what we're trying to do. And for a long time, we talked about knowledge you can trust. We talked about educating consumers, and you heard me earlier on in our conversation talk about educating consumers. It was really important for us to go to the engagement portion as well. So what we're driving for more than anything is a two-way dialogue with our customers now. So we're looking for a place where not only do we educate them, but we're inspiring them into action, and we're actually able to see and have a relationship with those consumers and those readers, which is really awesome. So we're seeing two-way engagement. We're profiling a bunch of our readers inside our social media channels, and it really feels like a 360 feedback loop with our readers. It's fantastic. So when I think of CanPrev, first off, I smile. This is an incredible relationship and a personal relationship for me that goes back a long ways. It's deeply personal. I think of Franco and Tanya is really ultimately what I do think about. It's the personification of the brand when it was just being started, and really to the point where I was having dialogues when there wasn't a brand, there was ad concepts and development being created, and I knew the individuals and the people behind it, and I have so much trust and so much belief in Tanya and Franco that I think that's ultimately what it means for me. Is I know the people behind the brand, and I know what their purpose was, and I believe in them, and then being a part of the journey is almost just semantics to actually my expanding friendship with the founders. So my first memory of CanPrev took a while to trigger. It goes back a long ways, and it definitely starts around meeting with Franco and then meeting Tanya, and then me wondering why such a pretty lady and smart lady and accomplished lady like Tanya would have anything to do with Franco. So definitely that internal debate is what I remember most about it. But no, you could see the friendship obviously that's there, and the jokes that we would have with each other. But I did actually look back on initial emails that I'd searched that dated back for me. In my email, I could find emails that went back that included ad concepts from October of 2006. So just over 19. And those would be the memories that instantly come to mind. They're silly, but they're meaningful. So when I think of CanPrev's exceptional growth and commitment to Canadians over the last 20 years, and I try to think forward on where I could see CanPrev going, I would love to see CanPrev expand its geographic footprint, much like Alive did over the last few years. They've done such an incredible job serving Canadians. I don't know why we can't do such an incredible job exporting and serving the United States market south of the border for us as well. And then I think just broader adoption as well. We still are a small industry, and although a lot of consumers are taking those products, I think there's an availability or an opportunity for CanPrev to do more for more Canadians as well through just broader market knowledge and acceptance. I would have said care less about what others think of you. I've spent a lot of my life actually insecure about what others think, which probably slowed me down. And I actually think that just a little bit more of a dabbling of that self-belief that I'm a good person doing good things would have served me really well at a young age. So I would say calm the noise, be a good person, do good things, and then just march forward. One message I would love to share with all Canadians is live in the moment. I personally have had a major health journey in the last 3 years, and the lesson that struck home and hard for me was that you really need to live in the moment. And I know it's a thing that's been told many times over, and we all hear it. But I'd love if through my personal journey I could share that with all Canadians. It really does matter. Enjoy the moment, live in the now, pursue joy.